Question 54. Are morals absolute or relative? The answer. The atheist claims that morality is relative. What is moral to some people may be immoral to others. The atheist is compelled to believe in the relativity of morality because you are atheistic in a relative, absurd world. Therefore, morality must be relative. While speaking of absolutism is an acknowledgment of transcendent values, which implies a greater purpose. However, these things do not exist in atheism, so they are compelled to say that morality is relative. But the problem with claiming that morality is relative is that this claim destroys the meaning of the objection from the start. So how can an atheist criticize a religious issue while claiming that morality is relative? This is a clear contradiction. For if morality were relative, what the atheist thinks is wrong or an objection might actually be the truth. But are morals really relative? The idea of moral relativism is an idea that literally destroys the world. Because if morals were relative, you would not be able to judge Hitler, nor would you be able to judge any crime, as what you consider a crime might be the essence of right and good. So the idea of moral relativism is an idea that destroys the meaning of courts, justice, and constitutions. The idea of moral relativism destroys the meaning of the state, as how can I judge you for a crime that might be right in your eyes? If the world follows this atheistic view, we will turn by God within hours into a jungle of lunatics and savages. The world will collapse in a few hours if atheism is true. And by the grace of God, there is a human instinctual consensus on the necessity of punishing the criminal. This consensus contradicts atheism. The source of this consensus is that morals are absolute and humans are accountable. If morality were relative, people would not agree on the necessity of punishing the criminal, and punishment would have no meaning. And if humans were not also responsible, we would not be able to judge them. The foundation of law, constitution, courts, judiciary, punishment, penalty, and the state as a whole is that morality is absolute and that man is accountable. And merely questioning these axioms will collapse the state and will collapse humanity. If you want to bring down a state in 2 hours, it is easy. Gather a group of atheists and let atheism govern among them. Trust me, not even an hour will pass after atheism governs before they start acting like madmen in the streets. And in the second hour, everything will collapse. Atheism can only survive by rejecting prophethood, discarding religious values, and denying absolute morals. Atheism can only survive by following evil instincts. Atheism is a concept that is not suitable for implementation or even imagination. The problem is that, as I said, the atheist is forced to advocate moral relativism to align with atheism, nothing more. Atheism contradicts basic intuitions. Atheism goes against a universal human consensus. But why do we assert that morals are absolute in every era and in every place? And the answer, because ethics are objective and not subjective. Ethics, like any objective thing, exist in their reality. For instance, we say this is a book. This is objective. But when you say, I love this book, that is a subjective issue. So do ethics depend on tendencies, love, or hatred? Or are they something independent of human inclinations? Morality, without a doubt, is something entirely independent of the inclinations of all humans. Morality does not depend on human desires, whims, or inclinations. What is good for both the virtuous and the wicked, and what is evil for both the virtuous and the wicked. Thus, ethics are objective and not subjective. Ethics rely on something completely outside of human inclination. They depend on the will of God intended for this world. Ethics have a universal purpose and are completely independent of human will. Moral values are embraced by every person, consciously or unconsciously. We all embrace the meanings of moral values, and no one denies the divine duty within themselves. And ethics represent a part of this. We all acknowledge the existence of this obligation. Even those who commit every atrocity know exactly what is ethical and understand the necessity of the moral duty and the value of the moral duty. It is self-evident that ethics are absolute. There is no evolution in it. Truthfulness is truthfulness throughout all of human history. Lying is lying throughout all of human history. Around 500 years before Christ, Euripides wrote the play The Trojan Women. The Trojan Women is a moral play. Sartre completed writing this play about 70 years ago. Yet you will not find any time gap between the two stories. The meanings of moral values have not changed and will not change. Cicero's ethical writings can be evaluated in every era with the same standard. And moral values can be placed in any era and will fit perfectly. And any Muslim is keen to emulate the morals of the righteous predecessors who lived hundreds of years ago. Morals do not progress. Rather, they remain constant across every era and place. An atheist would not understand the question in the first place, except because morals are absolute and constant through time. However, due to his atheism, the atheist falls into a strange self-contradiction. He claims there is a suspicion about a certain moral issue in religion, and moments later he refutes his own suspicion, falling into another contradiction when he says that morality is relative. If morality were relative, your suspicion would have no meaning, and the suspicion itself wouldn't be comprehensible at all.